Tearful everywhere. Amanda faces a terrible new diagnosis, a devastating journey that shakes the family to its core. There are moments in life when the world seems to stop spinning. Moments when conversations freeze, breaths catch, and even the brightest rooms feel dimmed. For the Sutton family of the hit reality show Southern Sisters, life in the raw, a fictional world filled with heartfelt struggles, bold personalities, and unbreakable family bonds. That moment happens on a cold December morning when Amanda receives a call no one ever wants to hear. Amanda Sutton, 43, the fiery, sharp-tongued, hilarious big sister whose no-nonsense attitude has long made her a fan favorite, had always been the family's unshakable pillar. She was the one who could turn chaos into laughter, who stood between her sisters and the world when things got tough, who took pain and turned it into punchlines. But today, she isn't laughing. Today, her strength is cracking. And today, viewers, fans, and family alike find themselves asking the same heartbreaking question. Amanda had always been the type to shrug things off, a headache here, a backache there, an odd flutter in her chest, a lingering cough. Life had conditioned her to push through the pain. She was a mother, a sister, a caretaker, and a protector. She didn't give herself permission to break. But over the last month, the symptoms refused to be ignored. Her mornings started with overwhelming fatigue, the kind that made even sitting upright feel like lifting a truck. Her hands shook when she tried to hold her coffee mug. She found herself short of breath after walking from the kitchen to the living room. And then there were the sharp, stabbing pains beneath her ribs, coming in unpredictable waves that left her clutching her side. At first, she joked it off on camera. "Girl, I'm just old and tired," she chuckled when producers asked about her fatigue. "Probably just gas," she told her sisters when they begged her to get checked out. But late at night, alone in the dim glow of her bedroom lamp, she knew something was wrong, deeply wrong. And she was afraid. Afraid of the hospital. Afraid of answers. Afraid of what those answers might mean. But the one thing she feared most was being a burden. When Amanda arrived at her sister Cass's house for their weekly family dinner, everyone saw it instantly. Her pallor, her weak posture, the way she winced when she sat down. "You okay?" Cassie asked gently. "Yep," Amanda lied. But her younger sister, Jessa, wasn't having it. "Girl, stop. You look like you're about 5 seconds from passing out." Amanda tried to wave her off, but then the room spun, literally. The walls blurred, the voices blended, and her knees buckled. Jessa barely caught her before she hit the floor. That was the breaking point. Within an hour, the whole family was in unanimous agreement. They were taking her to the hospital, whether she wanted it or not. Amanda tried to fight them. Of course she did, but she was too weak, too dizzy, too terrified to put up the usual fuss. And beneath the fear, a tiny part of her felt relieved. Because deep down, she knew she could no longer carry this alone. The hospital was bright, cold, and sterile, the kind of place that made Amanda feel smaller just by walking inside. Nurses moved quickly. Vitals were taken. Blood was drawn. Scans were ordered. Doctors exchanged serious glances that made Amanda's heart pound. Her sisters hovered anxiously. "What do you think it is?" Cassie whispered. "I don't know," Jessa murmured. "But I don't like how they keep calling other doctors in." Amanda tried to smile, tried to reassure them, but even turning her head made her dizzy. Hours passed. More tests. More waiting. More fear. And then came the doctor, a soft-spoken woman with kind eyes and a clipboard held tightly against her chest. "Amanda," she said gently, "we've found something." The room went silent. Amanda braced herself. She thought she was ready. She wasn't. The doctor took a breath. "We've detected signs of an autoimmune disorder that has been attacking your organs. We need to admit you immediately for treatment." Time froze. Cassie gasped. Jessa burst into tears. Amanda went numb. What does that mean?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. "It means your immune system is confused," the doctor explained. "It's attacking healthy tissue, your joints, your muscles, and possibly your kidneys. We need to act quickly to prevent further damage." "So this is serious?" Amanda asked. "It is," the doctor said softly. "But you are not out of options. With treatment, we can manage this." Amanda nodded, but her hands shook violently. Because in that moment, one truth drowned out every other. And she didn't know if she had the strength left to fight back. By the time Amanda returned to her hospital room, the family had filled the hallway, cousins, nieces, nephews, friends, and even a few crew members from the show. The second they saw her face, they knew. The tears came instantly. Amanda, no. This can't be happening. Why you? Why now? Amanda tried to comfort them, even though she was the one whose world had just collapsed. It's gonna be okay, she said softly. I'll get through this. I got y'all, don't worry. But when she was finally alone with her mother, she let the truth spill out. I'm scared, Mama, she cried. I'm so scared. Her mother wrapped her arms around her. You don't have to be strong right now, baby. Let us carry you this time. The next day marked the beginning of a long, grueling battle. Amanda was hooked to fours, pumped with steroids, put through dozens more tests, and monitored around the clock. Her body reacted violently: fevers, shakes, headaches, nausea. There were moments she felt like she couldn't breathe. Moments she wondered if she'd ever get her strength back. Moments she wanted to give up. But every time she reached her breaking point, one of her sisters appeared like magic. Cassie read Bible verses aloud. Jessa made her laugh with ridiculous TikToks. Her brother Mark brought her favorite snacks and decorated her room with goofy posters. And slowly, Amanda realized something. When the news hit social media, shared by her family with Amanda's blessing, the outpouring of love was overwhelming. Thousands of messages flooded in. You're the strongest person I know. You've survived so much, you'll survive this too. We're praying for you, Queen. Sending love from all over the world. The show released a statement, promising to support her every step of the way. And for the first time in weeks, Amanda smiled, a real smile. Not forced. Not masked. But filled with genuine gratitude. She began sharing her journey online. Photos of her hospital bracelets, short videos talking about her symptoms, heartfelt posts reminding her fans to listen to their bodies. Her vulnerability inspired thousands. And though the battle was far from over, hope began to flicker inside her once again. But battles are rarely linear. One night, the worst night, everything changed. Amanda's pain spiked suddenly. Her breathing became shallow. Her heart rate skyrocketed. Alarms blared. Nurses rushed in. The family was ushered out of the room as doctors worked urgently. Cassie collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Jessa paced the floor in panic. Their mother prayed loudly in the hallway. For hours, no one knew what would happen. Finally, a doctor emerged with a grave expression. She's stable, he said. But her organs are under significant strain. We need to continue aggressive treatment. It was the closest call yet, too close. And it reminded everyone of the terrifying truth. After the close call, something inside Amanda shifted. She stopped hiding her fear. Stopped pretending to be invincible. Stopped apologizing for breaking down. Instead, she embraced the vulnerability. She began journaling every day, pages filled with raw emotion, humor, hope, and heartbreak. She shared snippets with her fans, who resonated deeply with her honesty. She learned to ask for help without guilt. She learned that strength didn't mean never falling, it meant getting back up again. She began planning a project she'd been too afraid to attempt, a documentary following her journey from diagnosis to recovery. Not for fame, not for ratings, but to help others facing invisible battles. For the first time since her diagnosis, she felt purpose. Weeks passed. Slowly, painfully, stubbornly slowly, Amanda began to improve. Her fever settled. Her strength returned little by little. Her pain became manageable. Physical therapy helped her walk without assistance. Counseling helped her process the trauma. Medication stabilized her immune system. The doctors were optimistic. You're not cured, they told her. But you're fighting. And it's working. Amanda cried tears of relief. For the first time in months, the future didn't look so dark. The day Amanda was finally discharged from the hospital, the family prepared a surprise welcome home celebration. Handmade signs lined the driveway. Welcome home, warrior. You beat the odds. Team Amanda forever. Her nieces and nephews ran to hug her, careful not to squeeze too tight. The house smelled like her favorite meal, chicken stew and cornbread. Soft music played in the background. Warmth filled every corner. And in the midst of it all, Amanda cried. Happy tears. Grateful tears. Healing tears. Because home had never felt so precious. Amanda's illness didn't break her. It transformed her. She became more patient. More compassionate. more determined to live fully. She continued treatment, embraced lifestyle changes, and kept documenting her journey, not for pity, but for purpose. Her fans called her a warrior queen. Her family called her an inspiration. And Amanda, for the first time in her life, believed it. Because surviving wasn't just about fighting the illness. It was about rediscovering who she was. And she had. The world cried when Amanda got her diagnosis. The world trembled when her life hung in the balance. But today, the world celebrates her strength. This isn't the end of her story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with resilience, courage, and clarity. Her journey reminds us all. Life can break you, but it can also rebuild you stronger. And hope, even in its smallest spark, is worth holding on to.